our book 4, Force, episode 4, titled Storm Clouds. Let's get into it. This episode was it was eventful to say the least. Probably my favorite episode of the season thus far. Just a little more moving the story forward. It seems like every time Tommy takes a shift or a turn, it's another obstacle that hops in his way. So we see him at the beginning. He's still banging the ostrich-looking chick. They've been going rounds. What's the one song Drake said? You deserve rounds tonight. Oh. Sorry. Back at the barbershop, we see Jannard and Jeremiah. Listen, I'm gonna call him Jeremiah. I don't know what his name is in the show, but I'm gonna call him Jeremiah. We see him at the barbershop and they plotting on how to get rid of Diamond. And you can tell something's up with Jannard. You know what I'm saying? He's too eager to do this. But we find out the root or the stem of his frustrations is the fact that he had a different life plan for himself. He wanted to go to straight and narrow. You know, he wanted to go to college. And be something, but he got kind of forced into this when Diamond got locked up, so he had to hold the fort down. And I was thinking, like, damn, that's kind of messed up. And I was wondering, like, what the hell is wrong with his ear? I didn't see that last time. His ear is all messed up. Like, that joint looked crazy. But they're plotting and they're saying, like, they're both scared of Diamond. That's the crazy thing about it. So I haven't seen anything that warrants any fear from Diamond, but he must be back in the day. He must have been a terrifying motherfucker because he still put that fear in a lot of people's hearts. But to date, I haven't seen him do anything gangster. I haven't saw him clip anybody. Only thing I seen him do is fight his brother, and apparently he threw the fight. So as they're talking, we see Tommy's nephew walk into the shop. And Jannard's like, listen, I need a bunch of hitters. Could you round them up for me? And he tells the young man, listen, just get their bodies. I'm going to get their minds. So I thought that was interesting. So he's planning something. Back at the crib, we see Tommy and Lilani plotting on territory, and they're trying to take over the Yardies. Liliani's like, yo, you crazy for doing that. But he puts her on another mission. He wants her to follow the sister and see what she's up to of the family. What the fuck is their last names? I can't even remember their last names. But he wants them to follow. He wants her to follow the Flynn. Yeah, that's her name, Claude Flynn. Follow her around, see what she's been doing or who she's been meeting with. And we see that she's moving around. She's shaking and moving, trying to get her product off the ground. We get introduced to some new characters who I guess apparently are going to be, part of the fray of this new phenomenon that she has. And we meet this character who's kind of like her brother-like, and he tells her to be careful, but he gives her a big briefcase of money, and she walks out with it. We see Lilani across the street watching her. We see Tommy meet up with Diamond. To make sure they're good after the last meet down that went down with the Flynn brother. And as they're talking, we see Vic Flynn walk in as well. And it was funny with the whole scene with you think we slave over this grill all day to do this or deal with this? I thought that was pretty funny. Excuse me. So yeah, they're all meeting up, and Vic walks in, and he tries to order coffee. He's get told the same thing as well. But we see that he's kind of trying to break away from his pops, do his own thing. And Diamond like, yo, your pops know you doing this? And he was like, man, my pops' ways are old, blah, blah, blah. And they all agree, listen, the Yardies is territory they need, and they think they could just kind of take them over or just take it over and execute them or kind of get them to go towards their will with force. So they all take a trip over to the Yardies, and as they're about to make the play, we see they get a tip from Jeremiah that I guess the cops are there or on the way, so they had to peel out. We see one of the characters, the right hand man for Walter Flynn, uh, has a son who's an addict, and he's outside, just he comes to give him some clothes, but he's outside. He gives him clothes and food, but he's outside, and he's kind of halfway gone, and he's begging for some money. So the pops give him some money, and he hugs him. But we can tell there's a conflict there. Maybe that's why they don't indulge in coke or crack or whatnot, because maybe that's what this son got strung out on. I don't know. Who knows? But we see Claudia meet with another buyer down at the trash mill. I'm guessing that's where it was. And Leilani's still following her. Scarface is still following her. And she says the pictures to Tommy. Like I said, while they're at the yard, the boys wind up coming, and they get the fuck out of there. But they're following the yardies and shit. But the cop that the Flynns have on payroll winds up spotting Vic, and of course he calls Papa Flynn and tells him that he saw him there. So it's a conflict of interest there. We see Claudia and her girlfriend meet up, and the girlfriend's kind of concerned because, listen, she wants to be an equal partner, but she feel like Claudia's been taking the lead on this, and I guess she's feeling kind of left out. But Claudia wants to meet the cook, but she feels something up, and not as we suspected, but as she suspected something was up. The cook, I guess, didn't know she was the cook, so I guess that's why she didn't have enough product or that much product. So they kind of like blackmail her into doing this for them and shit. As they're driving, we see Vic and Tommy have a discussion about the ostrich chick. And that's his wife, and he tells her, like, listen, I know you guys are fucking, blah blah blah. And Tommy's just like, I don't know, he didn't know. He knew she had a husband, but he didn't know it was him. And he was just like, yo, it's only temporary, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yo, I'm popping your chick. Why you ain't say nothing to me or blah, blah. And he like, listen, it's business. I ain't got, you know what I mean? And he was like, we on a break. And I know this is temporary, but he's like, yo, I need you to break it off. And Tommy like, yo, all right, man, business is business. And he winds up breaking it off with her, actually. He held his word. But I like this exchange they had in front of the fucking bar. He was just like, I don't need 2 bullets for your head. You got a little head. I only need 1. So listen, Tommy rules with fear and power, and he's slowly earning his respect. We see Diamond go back to the barbershop, and he's arguing with Janard, and he's like, listen, why are you trying to take over the yardies? When I tried to make the play, it was different. And he's like, listen, we're just trying to completely take it over. You were just trying to get Nickel and Diamond get scraps. So that's why. And we see that his frustrations are growing. And Jeremiah's trying to play, listen, I'm not trying to get in the middle, but obviously we know his loyalty lies with Janard. But Janard is very envious of Tommy. He don't like the relationship that they have. But Tommy saved your ass, boy. You got to remember that. Tommy saved you. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Tommy, possibly. Your gun jammed on you, What Jay-Z say, niggas want to test you when your gun goes wrong. That ain't even related to what I just said. But anyway. Papa Flynn is meeting up with Vic, and he's pressing him about the yardies and working with CBI or CIB, whatever the fuck they call it. I think it's CBI, Chicago Brothers Incorporated. And he respects his dad, so he doesn't overstep, but he's trying to tell him, like, listen, I'm trying to continue this legacy, but I can't do it like the way you're doing it. Papa just don't understand. His way is kind of outdated. He's like, yo, we got to team up with people. We're going to have to collab in order to keep this legacy going. If not, we're going to kind of fall into oblivion. But Papa Flynn's not here. He's traditional. He wants the family to be how it is. I want to pass it down to my son. You run exactly how I ran it. You need to marry a nothing full-blood Irish woman. He's just old school racist. Like, that's the only way they explain it. He's an old school racist. We see Tommy and Ostrich be at the bar, and that's when he breaks it off with her. And, she handled it pretty well. As he's walking out, conveniently, Papa Flynn is walking out, and he's like, "Yo, stop trying to take over me, boy. What are you doing?" You already in the city, overstepping. And Tommy's like, listen, I'm not trying to do nothing. If anything, I'm trying to pull your brother up. You don't want holding him back and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I like how he said that. And I'm like, Tommy better be careful, man. They about to get his ass out of here. Leilani Scarface walks home. She got some guests waiting for him. They rough her up, some Serbs. They trying to get the product back. She didn't mention this to Tommy that she took the product from the Serbs. Had he known this, I don't think he probably would have done the deal. But she's looking for she's getting beat the fuck up, tortured. Tommy is at his brother's house, and we meet the brother's dad, so Tommy's stepdad, I guess you could call him. And they're talking about Kate, just giving a little backstory about how she was or what's going on, and how they met and why he never let her meet, and his and Tommy's intentions, and Tommy kind of reassures him that the intentions were good. Leilani makes the smart play to text Tommy, but she mentions Ghost, which was mentioned earlier in the episode, so Tommy knew right away that something was going on. We see the cop they have on payroll pulls over Vic, and Vic kind of chumps him like, "Listen, man, what am I paying you for if you're not gonna give me the intel?" Like your arm's reach is kind of short for the money you're getting, and just drove off and played him. I was like, ha ha ha, bitch ass nigga. But yeah, I liked it. And now listen, why did they have the plastic on the couches too at the fucking? Yo, that's really our grandparents really used to do that shit. Like have plastic on the fucking couch. Like what are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's funny. As we're waiting at the meet, we see the driver has a twin brother, and we learn that it's a female that's in charge. And they're waiting, and all of a sudden Tommy just come blasting through the window, put this dude brains on the fucking steering wheel, and Leilani winds up stabbing and poking the fat dude in the car. She's like, yo, what the fuck took you so long? And he's like, yo, you can say thank you. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, man. This like the new team up, man. They make a good team though. I got kind of invested in Lolly. I don't want to see nothing happen to her, but she's dealing with some powerful people, and she killed one of theirs. So, and like I said, they Tommy up 0-6, so they've been letting a lot of shit slide. He brings Alani to the barbershop. I guess to call in his favor. He meets up with Diamond, and it was funny because Janard and Alani had history. I guess she was supposed to bag some shit up for her, and he wound up not paying her, because I guess she stopped bagging up because Janard was trying to fuck her still. So they're left in the care of she's left in the care of Janard. Him and Diamond go and walk around the corner, and then we see who the reveal is of the woman they're talking about, and obviously it was a character from the OG Power, and I like how they're including all the OG characters into the new Power. I thought that's pretty sick. And they were looking for Tommy Egan, so they finally found him, and she's just like, why the fuck is, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell? In the basement, Janiyah and Lonnie, she's, being a kid, grabbing shit, grabbing toys. And he's kind of like trying to, like, yo, why you running with Tommy? Yada yada yada. She's trying to get her money, but he's in awe by her. He likes her. You can tell he really likes her. He's attracted to her, and he likes her scar. Yo, that shit fire. He's trying to touch it, and she's like, yo, for my $8,000, you can touch it if you want. Diamond tells Tommy straight up, listen, I don't want no parts. Like, he like, I know you owe you a favor. I owe you a favor. You got the right to call at. But he said, I'm going to tell you right now, man, nah, I can't do it on this one. Yo, he don't want no parts of that shit. Like, nah, it's not happening, bro. He tells, we see that Janard is fucking with that booger sugar, which would explain why his behavior is so, kind of out of, not out of touch, but it's just, it's kind of irate all the time, and why he's always kind of got a fucking chip on his shoulder. He fucking with that boy, and Diamond don't know. And she mentions that, you think Diamond and Tommy don't run shit. which mean they run shit because they always leave him out of shit, and they're talking. So and then he tries to get her to kill Tommy, for a price, and she's like, "Yo, that's not happening." And he's like, "Yo, why you mess with Tommy anyway? After he tried to kill you or blah blah blah." She's like, "Hey man, I go where the money go." We see at the other bar, his brother's bar, the son is pulling up and they about to light the shit up again. But he like, "Yo, let's rob this man." His friend like, "Yo, let's rob this." He's like, "No, we just gonna shoot it up." He's like, "Yo, we just wet this joint up." As they're saying that, JP comes out with a bat. And I'm like, why the fuck you got a bat, dude? This Chicago. These little niggas ain't playing fair. And sure enough, old boy pulls out the pistol. His son shoots in the air because obviously he don't want his dad to get killed. He just wants to scare him, I guess, for just not being there in his life and shit. And they're like, "Yo, come on, we got to go." And they wind up getting in the car, bouncing and leaving him, which I'm like, why the fuck would you leave your man? You know he got a pistol on him. The cops come in, and then he's like, "Yo, why you keep fucking on my bar?" And I thought he was going to recognize that it was his son. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't. And then old boy just runs off and shit. And JP just got that funny looking look on his face. Tommy gets the drop on the Serbs at the docks or wherever the fuck they is. And meets up with him and shit. Vic goes to see his girl. And he's trying to get that old thing back like normal. But I don't think it's gonna work. She done got some of that real New York D. She don't want that. She don't want that no more, cuz. She don't want that. But I think she still does love him. But I think it's just the circumstances with his family. They told her pretty much like, listen, you never be part of the family. And I think she took to that. We see Janari gives Lilani the money. And he goes and touches her scar, and he kisses it and shit. And then she's like, "Thank you," and walks away and some shit. Tommy texts her to come up, and they go up. We see Claudia Claude meets up with the cook, who kind of gets blackmailed into it. That shit was funny as hell. She was in there talking about the decor. Yeah, I could tell a lot of it. She's like, "Yo, cut the shit. I don't want to talk about that." And she's a doctor too, so they got a doctor to kind of confess what was going on. Tommy meets up with the Serbs on some kind of like rooftop type thing deal. Garage, I don't know what it's at, but he comes dolo, and I'm like, oh boy, why would he come by himself? But he's talking to the sister, and they want Lilani because she killed one of hers, and she's like, yo, she really wants Tommy as well. Because he killed Jason back in New York. He was like, "Yo, I didn't kill him." And she's like, "Your friend Ghost did." And she was like, "Yo, I heard he's dead. I figured you would have did it." He was like, "Nah, I ain't do it." And he throws the work over there. And things get a little tense, and guns are about to get drawn, and all of a sudden Vic comes out in the clutch and starts laying stuff down. I'm saying, okay, so I finally get to see how Vic do it. I just gotta see Diamond in some action now. Yeah, Vic comes out, and then she's like, "Yo, if you're gonna kill me, kill me." I thought he was gonna let her go. And she was like, "Yo, when they such and such, they try to kill you, I vouch for you," and blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, Tommy just pokes her up, man. I was like, it takes to work. I said, oh, it's about to be a can of worms for him. So him and Lilani are on the roof, and she's like, listen. Look like it's a storm coming. And he's like, it's already here, meaning the Serbs. So they got a whole different issue to worry about, man. I'm like, it's crazy out here. All in all, decent episode. I love the way it flowed. I like how they progressed the story. I think they relying on nostalgia a little too much. But then again, I think it's just necessary. You know what I'm saying? They don't have enough moving parts for the current storyline to kind of progress. So, but I'm like, damn, Tommy a badass like that. He just taking out every day he wake up just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill somebody today. Yep. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Post your comments below. Did you like this episode? Did you not like it? What are your predictions for the next episode? Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Next time. Peace.